What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I'm the Scarlet Karibo, and today we have a very special deck profile for you. We are going over the CosmoNeos build. So, CosmoNeos is a really cool card because as soon as you play it, your opponent cannot activate any cards. You can't negate the effect, so as soon as you play it up, your opponent kind of has to skip their turn, especially if you can summon it on their turn. So, first things first. We're going to be starting with 2 copies of Elemental Hero Stratos. It's a great way to start a hero deck. This is obviously the primary searcher of the deck. You can't go wrong with Stratos. As well, to back him up, we're going to use 1 Shadow Mist and 1 Elemental Hero Blaze Man. So Blaze Man facilitates a whole portion of the combo, getting you polymerization. In an Omni Hero deck, you have to use like the whole Vision Hero line, you're risking Nibiru. Blaze Man does it all, so he's really, really powerful. Shadow Mist, when sent to Grave, also gets a search, so when used in tandem with Blaze Man, these 2 cards, they're so powerful. So we're going to use those along with Elemental Hero Prisma for our small bodies. Now Prisma is super, super important in this deck. Prisma might be more important in this deck than any other kind of hero deck, because it's going to be a facilitator card for our main combo. Moving forward, let's go ahead and see 2 copies of Elemental Hero Neos. This is the card that we're all here for. Elemental Hero Neos is the title card. It's the ace monster of Jaden Yuki. We're going to use 2 copies. Mostly as an opportunity cost, you can get away with 1, but I like running 2 just for safety. We're also going to use 2 copies of Elemental Hero Spirit of Neos. Now, this card is probably one of my favorite cards in the entire deck. It's one of the newer Elemental Hero cards. It's really useful. In the main hero deck, you're going to be using as a hand trap. When your opponent declares an attack, you can special summon this card out. It can't be destroyed by battle when summoned this way. Summon in defense mode kind of saves you for the entire battle phase. Very good way to bounce back. But when it's special summoned, you also get a search. So you can search a polymerization or anything that lists Elemental Hero Neos in the card text, which is honestly most of the cards in the deck, so it's really useful. To round off the Neos portion, we're going to use 1 Elemental Hero Honest Neos. So Honest Neos, the hand trap, is when they attack, you give your guy another 2,500 attack points. Neos does the big attack with your monster. So it kind of swings for game a lot. It's very, very useful. You don't really want to run 2 or 3 because it's very searchable, so 1 is plenty. Moving forward, let's get into some Neospatians. I'm going to use 3 Crosskeeper to help facilitate the combo. Very good consistency piece. You want to see this in your opening hand as much as possible. As well as Neospatian Grand Mole, Dark Panther, and Aqua Dolphin. So all 3 of these cards are really, really useful. You need them for the summon of our boy Elemental Hero CosmoNeos. You need 3 different Neospatians. So those are going to be your 3 names. As well, they also have interesting monsters that they can summon from the extra deck. We'll get into that in just a second. To round off the Neospatians, we're going to use 2 Neospace Connectors. This card's really good. When it was at 3, we used to run the Isolde line, but now that it's at 2, Neospace Connector is going to be a good facilitator card, and it's also a great way to cycle into your deck and get some of the important cards out of there. Lastly, for the main deck monsters, I like to think that Jaden needed help from some of his friends. So we're going to use 1 Evil Hero Adusted Gold, he got that from Yubo. We're going to use Destiny Hero Denier and 2 Destiny Hero Malicious from Astro Phoenix. We're going to use 1 Rainbow Dragon, that's from Jesse. And then we're also going to use 1 Armed Dragon Thunder level 10, that's from Chaz. All these cards are going to be good to access some extra deck monsters, so we're going to need all of them in the deck. Lastly, next up, let's get into the spells. We're going to use 3 copies of EN Engage Neospace. This is one of the best new cards that we have. Not only does it search you polymerization, not only does it special summon you out a monster, but you get to send a Neospatian and an Elemental Hero from your deck or hand to the grave. So you can send your Shadow Mist, you can send one of your Neospatians to help facilitate the summon of your CosmoNeos. You get your polymerization to get your favorite contact with your Flame Wingman. It's insane. This card does everything you need it to. Definite 3 of on this one. We're also going to use 3 copies of A Hero Lives. A Hero Lives is a fantastic card. You always need to run this, especially if you're playing heroes. We got 3 copies of E-Emergency Call to do a little bit of searching, as well as Reinforcements of the Army to back that up. So these are the power spells. They're all for a lot of consistency, and having as many of them as we can is very, very helpful. Let's get into the fusion spells. First up, we got 2 Polymerization, 1 Miracle Fusion, 1 Mask Change. So, Miracle Fusion gets you guys from the grave away. Mask Change gets the ones on the field, you switch it out into a monster very quickly. It's a quick play spell. really trips your opponent up because no one's expecting to see the masked heroes in this deck. We got 1 Overfusion, 1 EN Shuffle, and 1 EN Wave. It's another fusion card. These ones are a little bit consistency pieces, but they help facilitate your fusions. We're going to use 1 Neos Fusion, 1 Dark Calling, and 1 Fusion Destiny. So they're all going to help you access your extra deck a lot of different ways. We have so many different ways to fuse, and all of them really applicable with each other. The only one you really have to worry about is Fusion Destiny. It limits you to only summoning dark monsters, so that's why we only run 1 of it. Lastly, for the traps, we have Protection of the Elements. So, Protection of the Elements is kind of like a negate. It's pretty good. It's a newer card. It's not the best negate in the world, but we like it. You have to have an elemental hero on board to use it. As well as Favorite Contact. Now this card is one of the best cards in the hero deck. It's probably the best card in the hero deck because it lets you access your extra deck on your opponent's turn. And that is especially helpful for 2 of our boss monsters in the deck. We have Elemental Hero CosmoNeos and Elemental Hero Shining Neos Wingman. So Wingman, you get to pop some cards. It's very powerful. It also has a lot of protection. It's pretty good. But CosmoNeos, when you play this card out in the field, your opponent cannot activate cards. They're not negated. It's not like their effects are negated or you can't use this or that or they get effects changed. No. They can't even activate them. The only things your opponent are going to be able to do are set a monster, set a couple spells and traps, and then pass their turn after you summon this. So Favorite Contact summoning into your CosmoNeos is the main combo we're going for in the deck. And the whole deck is facilitated on searching out your Favorite Contact and summoning out your CosmoNeos by sending your specific Neospatians. Moving forward, we got 1 copy of Armed Neos, 1 copy of Nebula Neos, Aqua Neos, and Brave Neos. As well, we're going to be using the Shining Neos Wingman. So this is the Neos family. This is all the ones that we're using. They're all really helpful. This one you use in a pinch. This one you use when you're gloating and you're winning a lot. These ones you have to use as material. Like for example, when you're using Prisma, Elemental Hero Prisma targets one of these guys and then you can send one of the Neospatians that's listed, either Aqua Dolphin, Grand Mole, or Dark Panther. So you can send all of them from that effect. So that's going to be it for the Elemental Hero Neos cards. We're going to also run Flame Wingman to help summon out your Shining Neos Wingman. And when you have Flame Wingman, you may as well also run Elemental Hero Sunrise. So all 3 of these cards are a must-have. I also like to run Rainbow Neos to help with that Neos fusion and the Rainbow Dragon. And Elemental Hero The Shining. So after you use the Sunrise, you get a Miracle Fusion. You can float into the Shining to get some more attack points on the field. So that's going to be the most of the fusion cards. Additionally, let's go into some Link monsters. We got Cross Crusader, and we got Infernal Devicer. Now, Cross Crusader you use with the Destiny Hero plays. Pretty good for extending with those cards, but Infernal Devicer is the main card in this deck. So, with the whole play of the deck, we have to summon out CosmoNeos, right? CosmoNeos is like the target, and we have to search out Favorite Contact. How are we searching out Favorite Contact? Well, that's obviously going to be from Flame Wingman. You summon out Flame Wingman, you get your Favorite Contact. Favorite Contact, you need to fuse 3 different Neospatians with a Neos. So summoning the Neos is easy enough. You're going to end up fusing that off with your Infernal Rage. That's nothing. Literally, you do that all the time. But the way you send the Neospatians is really important. Because when you use Elemental Hero Prisma's effect, Prisma is only going to be able to send one of those Neospatians down. So Prisma, let's say, sends Aqua Dolphin by targeting the Aqua Neos. Infernal Devicer is going to be able to search you out the other 2 so they get added to your hand from your deck. Or whichever ones you're missing can also search your Neos. Because Infernal Devicer can add 2 different cards. So as long as you're targeting these 2 Neos cards in your extra deck, you're able to search out the entire deck. You're able to get anything, flow everything into everywhere. So that's what I love about this deck. It's super creative. It's super fun to play. It's a lot more refreshing than the Omni Hero build, which you're just using the Ferris into Increase into Vion. But this is so exciting. I also like to end off the extra deck with a couple cards. Darklaw for the Mass Change, Malicious Bane for the Supreme King, and Destroy Phoenix Enforcer for those Destiny Hero monsters. But they take a backseat in this deck. Elemental Hero Neos is the main focus. Using those Neospatians and getting those Neos targets is going to be the main play to summon out your big boss monsters. Shiny Neos Wingman, he was the big boss of Omni Hero, but due to the effects of Prisma and Infernal Devicer, we're very easily able to float into CosmoNeos. So, that's the deck profile. Thank you guys so much for watching. Go ahead and check out this channel. We're going to be posting a deck breakdown. We're going to be talking about the mainline combos for this deck, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and drink some water. I know you haven't been drinking water. I love you guys so much. Drink some water. I know you haven't been drinking enough water. I love you guys so much and have a great day. Thank you very much.